Banter podcast with Paul and Jedis.
What the fuck is happening, people? Welcome to the General Banter Patreon exclusive podcast that we squirt out every week. You won't believe the lengths I go to for you lucky bastards. It's 8:30 right now. I left the house at fucking 6:30 to get the whole way up here to squirt out podcasts before we have to do some other shit today. And I was about to give away a big secret there, and I forgot where it was for a second, but I'm not going to say it, so I'm keeping it secret. Yeah, welcome to the podcast. It's 16th of July. We'll keep this one short, and we'll go straight into the Sunday Q&A, and then you'll have fucking content just squishing out your tits for the next week or so. What's happened in the last while? We had the 12th. I'm trying to remember, did we do a podcast before the 12th? Thursday? Yeah, we would have done it after the 12th. Or no, we didn't. That's right. We banked the podcast with Rory Woods, which was received very well. People enjoyed that. If you could understand what he was saying, talking like that. But it was a funny podcast, talking about drinking, talking about weddings and shit like that. And that's right. We decided to bank podcasts so we didn't have to work what people over here have referred to as the holidays. I heard someone say that. Something about working over the holidays. And you're like, this isn't like Christmas in America, bro. You can't refer to the 12th as the holidays. I mean, that'll be a fun movie, wouldn't it? You know, all those American fucking Christmas movies. Holidays are coming, you know what I mean? And then over here it's like, you know, it's the holidays. Holidays are coming. And then just cut to some fucking, you know, fat bitch in a Union Jack dress pulling her tits out, which I have seen. Someone sent me a video of that. Shout out to Paddy McDonnell, the source of all borderline snuff videos. But this owl doll was like, you know what I mean? They were out in some wee piece of green in the middle of a housing estate, and everyone's all that shit. And she just thought, that's to be a good time for me to pull out my fucking sloppers. And she pulled up her Union Jack top, and they fucking hit her in the shins. You know what I mean? And this podcast has went 0 to 60 real fucking quick. But anyway, the 12th happened. But do you know what? 12th during lockdown, weird. Because normally it's like you're scared to leave the house, but everyone's already scared to leave the house anyway. So you're kind of like, why are we staying in the house? Normally we stay in the house because people are throwing WKD bottles at children. But this time it's just quiet. And of course the weather was shit. You know, this is how many podcasts we're doing now. We're doing so many podcasts that I'm talking about the weather, which is pretty cool, isn't it? But I'm going to have to buy one of those sad lamps. I'm going to look that up right now. I think I've done this before. Let me see. Sad. Seasonal. You can't... No, that's SAS. For fuck's sake. Sad Lamp. What a great name for a band. Hey guys, we're Sad Lamp. Sad Lamps at Amazon. Let's go. Yeah, you can get... Look at this. Sad Lamp. Light therapy lamp. I might get this. £36. That just looks nice. And you put it on your desk, and it gives the effect that you're sitting beside a window. But even if you're sitting beside a window in this fucking country, there's pissing rain hitting it. I don't know what the fuck's going on. Didn't stop people immediately going to... the amount of people I've seen in Italy recently was ridiculous. People are like, where's the cheap flights to? The epicenter of death? You know? I'll suffer through a bit of corona to get a bit of fucking rigatoni. You know what I mean? You see these cunts all fucking loving life. I'm in the Amalfi Coast, coughing up chunks of blood. But here we are. There's the Colosseum. As blood runs out their ear. You know, they've got a full fucking ventilator on. Walking around in a fucking spacesuit, just going, would you look at that there? You know, look at the fountains. Isn't the pasta here just way lighter than a bag of fucking spar pasta that you get at home? You can't even get it at home. I know, you have to fucking buy it one at a time. People fighting each other, storing it up. That's what I was telling the Italian man. I was like, you wouldn't believe what people would be doing to each other at home for these bag of fucking pasta shells. You try to buy this in the Vivo, they'd be knifing the fuck out of each other. But here at the side of the street with this ventilator on, spluttering blood into the inside of the mask, I am fucking loving this carbonara. Let me tell you. Everyone's in fucking Italy. I bet you if you went on EasyJet or fucking Ryanair or something, they're just like, go to Italy. We'll pay you €60 to go over there to the fucking, I mean, bar like Wuhan city centre. Was Rome not did Rome not just like drop its fucking population by about a third? Everybody die of corona. But yeah, everybody's there. You see it in waves, man. You know, there's trends. As soon as lockdown came about, it was like stay in your house, and every fucking person on my timeline was up the morns. You know, and you just see waves. I seen, you know, as soon as lockdown started to phase out, people were like, yes, I'm in Benidorm now. And I'm in Italy. Everyone fucking away to Italy. There'd be some other trend. There'd be a second wave of lockdown. People would be like, fuck yes. I'm just getting it. I'd be one. If I didn't have a wife and child, I'd just be like, listen, fucking who gives a shit? Because beyond that, I wouldn't have any dependents, you know? I would just be strolling around by myself. Trying not to fucking... I hit that button by accident all the fucking time. That probably scared the shit out of you. What else have I done this week? Obviously people are getting back to normal life a wee bit. Not down south. Down south went not to 60. They'd had no phase-in period. People were just like, oh, so it's fucking... The lockdown's over, is it? Let me cram into this fucking pub the size of a phone box with 90 other people. And they're going to have a second lockdown. You know, it's on the horizon. You can see it coming. But we've been doing some wee bits, you know, went for a brunch, and you know, it's great to go back to your favourite brunch spots. Because I'll tell you what, I didn't get into this business to not go for fucking brunch every day. Why be self-employed? Why try and get a job in the creative arts, which gives you a lot of time flexibility, if you're not putting two fingers up to society by going for fucking poached eggs when you should be at work? Nothing says suck my dick world more than fucking crushed avocado, smashed avocado on toast. You know, people in work go, man, I'm starving. I wish it was lunchtime. And I'm in there with fucking, like, you sit at a table with six seats, and you move the seats out of the way and you go, fuck this. Bring me a black pudding before I fucking flip this goddamn table. Brunch is the best, man. You know, I bet you, like, you see all these fucking social justice warriors and fucking Antifa and all this shit. No, nothing says fuck the system like just sitting there having a flat white and a fucking banana French toast in your pajamas. You didn't even get ready. You just came on out and you're like, yeah, keep the cappuccinos coming. Keep them coming till I fucking shit in your premises. And then I leave and get a brownie. After another brownie. That's disgusting. Yeah, you can do all the protesting you want, but that's the real fuck you. Like Rage Against the Machine. Their next album is them just, it's a podcast, and they're just having fucking brunch. Telling people to go fuck themselves, you know what I mean? Got that oat milk, baby! Now, did you hear that impression? It was good, wasn't it? Yeah, so I've been all over the place this week. I went down a few wormholes. As usual, I've been looking at watches all motherfucking day. But has anybody Googled Donald Trump's dad? Donald Trump's sad. That's the first thing comes up. Donald Trump's dad. Close enough. My boy Fred Trump. Frederick. Oh, stop! Now we need to sort this desk out. Every time I hit the desk, the sound effects go. Ah, fuck. Can you hear that? Oh, for fuck's sake. Now, I didn't think of this when I had a son, but this motherfucker's name is is Frederick Christ Trump. Unbelievable. Frederick Christ Trump was an American business. I am sweating now. Is a business. I've had a lot of coffee. Businessman and philanthropist, which basically is like that Always Sunny in Philadelphia joke. I tell him you're a philanthropist, and he's like, I'm a full-on rapist. That's what that means now. Epstein was a philanthropist. Just these cunts with billions of dollars. And you go, what do you do? You're just having brunch every day, you cunt. Jesus Christ. Frederick Jesus Christ Trump was a prominent real estate developer in New York City. No shit. Probably a slumlord of some sort. He was the father of Donald Trump, 45th president of the United States. Courts of Appeal judge. Died in 99. Long Island Jewish Medical Center. Frederick Christ. His dad was Frederick Trump. Look at these oldie worldy photos of everyone there. Apparently there's a book about him. Apparently he was a right piece of work. And that's why the guy looked, now I'm not gonna read into his ailments, but the guy looks like he had fucking 50 facelifts, and they kept just going, listen bro, we'll grab it, trail it back. And he'd be like, does that mean my ear's gonna move? And they're like, who gives a fuck? But yes. And they just kept yanking it and yanking it and yanking it. And now his ears are about a centimetre apart on the back of his head. Fucking Freddie Christ Trump indeed. Trump's dad, this explains a lot. I mean, someone said, oh, he looks like a lizard. And you're like, no, it looks, people, what way does it work? People are like, oh, it's a lizard wearing a human suit. He looks like a human wearing a fucking lizard suit. That's what he looks like. Why is he must have just kept getting facelifts, and they're like, yank it back. Even though the guy's face looks like, someone shoved it in a deep fat fryer. My wife gives off to me all the time. She's like, you gotta put SPF on your head and your face. You gotta put sun cream on, because it'll keep your skin fresh, and then by the time you're an old boy, you might look half decent. This guy said, fuck that. Let me get direct sunlight while I'm getting sucked off by a 13-year-old in Florida all my life. And then sure enough, at the end, the face, looks like he had a fucking nail bomb. But it's all good. And they say he was an abusive father to Trump. I don't see it. I look at him with the bushy eyebrows and the devil face, and it's then the 15 fucking facelifts, and I think, nah, he's probably signed. But yeah, Jesus Christ, look at that. Like, why can't you just get old? Why can't you be like, why are people like, make my skin firm, and then they smooth out the skin in your face, and your neck looks like fucking, your neck has a foreskin, you know what I mean? And then the hair, it doesn't look natural to have that thick of hair when you're fucking 1,000. But I guarantee it, if Maureen gets pregnant again and we have another son, his name's gonna be Colin Christ Geddes. Junior. Colin Christ the Knight Junior. Imagine the balls on someone to be like, there's your little son. Have you decided on a name? We're going to call him Frederick. Any middle names? Christ. Imagine that a kid. I was like, oh yeah, we called him fucking Stevie. What's his middle name? God. Stevie God Geddes. With a comma. Like Tyler, the Creator. That's wild. But yeah, I went down a fucking wormhole looking at his dad. Who is messaging me? Like, Shane Todd. Shout out to Shane. He had a baby and he's sending me pictures. Look at this wee guy. I feel like texting him back and being like, well, I hope you enjoyed all the attention when you got it, Shane, because no one is gonna fucking look your way. And I'd be like, no one's looking at me. But fair play. That's unreal. A boy as well, boys club. More toxic males on the scene. That's what we want to see. Maureen's texting me now. Welcome to the text cast, where I will be responding to people's texts. Boy. and then I'll give the name. So there you go. That's great news today, early in the morning. Donald Trump also denied knowing or denied even having met Jeffrey Epstein's main girl, Ghislaine Maxwell or whatever it is, Ghislaine. She was basically the Millionaire Matchmaker, like the TV show. If the millionaire wanted to get matched up with a fucking someone doing their 11 plus. Imagine that was a real show. You just have the fucking guy being like, she's not my type, man. She's fucking 12. And then that big doll that was on that Millionaire Matchmaker show going like, oh, stop being so fucking selfish for once. Who do you think you are, you ugly cunt? And she's sitting there looking like fucking China from wrestling. Do you remember her? But yeah, he's denied ever meeting her. And there's numerous photos of them together. Trump, Ghislaine. Also, just call yourself Elaine, because fuck people who have these names where they're like, they just put another letter at the start of it. My name's Elaine. What is it? Ghislaine. Or okay. Nice to meet you. I'm Simon. There she is in a belly top, and I guarantee you she's absolute fucking filth. Like, there's no doubt about that. You're the right hand man, woman to this fucking filthy cunt. You know what I mean? She goes ass to mouth immediately. But there they are, loads of photos of them together. There they are, the party. Oh, Melania Trump in her prime, looking great. You know, brain dead, can't speak, but it's all good. There's Prince Andrew. Unbelievable. That guy has brunch, you know what I mean? Never worked a fucking day in his life. I don't even sweat it. Brr. So there's just numerous photos. There's Trump just kissing a child. I think that's his daughter, so that might be alright. I mean, I have seen photos where they're like, oh, he's a paedophile too, and then there's all photos of him with his actual daughter, and you're like, well, you know, you do have to be with your own child most of the time, you know what I mean? There's Al Ghislaine with a wig on. Prince Andrew. This Prince Andrew cunt gets about, like. He's just got full of fucking royal money and just goes about his day chilling. But she got arrested anyway, apparently. No one even knows. There's no fucking photos or evidence of it or anything. And then she claimed she was in prison. She was like, I'm at risk of getting COVID. Can I get out of prison? Ha! Good luck, you fucking lunatic. Do you reckon people were on that island being like, do you know what? There's the wild dose of the shit's flying about. Can I get off this island? And they're like, fucking get the dick in your mouth and fuck up. You're not getting off this island. We just fucking sexually assault you and then kick you into a wood chipper that sprays into the sea, never to be seen again. They're mad for that, aren't they? You know, they're sex trafficking all these fucking kids that, like, you know, out of a fucking orphanage and all. Even the Queen has been blamed for shit like that. Oh, come to the fucking Buckingham Palace. You can have a day out, and she brings, like, I don't know what that story was, like fucking a bunch of orphans to this thing, and then they're like, oh, they went in the front door. Did they come back out? And she's like, don't worry about it. Are they going back to the orphanage? I don't know. They transfer what? Look over there. My son's a paedophile. Where are the kids? I don't know. Kill them. But yeah, it's been a rough week for going down those rabbit holes. You know what I mean? Someone sent me this story from Instagram, and I clicked through it, and I was just like, this is demented. You know, just starts pointing all these fingers at fucking people like, oh, this happened and fucking, you know, on the dark web. They've released a video that was on your man fucking Anthony Weiner's computer called Frazzle Drip, and it's Hillary Clinton fucking cutting someone's face off and all, and you're just, you know, you're sitting there at brunch reading this shit going, isn't that wild? And then you order another flat white. It's crazy. And yeah, all sorts of weird shit, you know, like fucking, you know, the McCanns were like staying a third of a mile away from one of those Podesta brothers fucking apartments in Portugal, and they were there the next day doing like doing some sort of broadcast and appeal or whatever from this guy's house who's like a known fucking child trafficker. It's wild. It's wild, man. And then they had this whole Wayfair thing, which is like, is it some sort of fucking furniture place? And they all of a sudden people started looking into it, and all these bits of furniture would cost like 20 grand and had the names of like missing people, so it'd be like, oh, I'll pay 20 grand for this fucking wardrobe here. It's called the, Sarah whatever. And then you look up the name and you're like, fuck, she's been missing for like 5 years, kidnapped at fucking 15 or something. And you're like, that's very fucking weird. And what a weird way to sell them, Hey, do you want to imagine someone bought that by accident. Imagine someone was legit looking for a, like an office fucking like cupboard thing, and they were like, oh, that's fucking pricey, but I'm sure it's got a lifetime guarantee, and they spend 20 grand on a thing and they open it up and they're like, who the fuck are you? Oh, I'm missing teenager Sarah whatever their fucking name is. You're like, this is some wild shit. And then they keep fucking the police would fucking save themselves some time if they just went, is there a 15 grand knocking about? And they're like, oh, we can pull that out of the budget. And they're like, we'll order this fucking McCann chest of drawers here. Just to see, you know what I mean? Nat arrives at the door and you fucking get the key and open it, and you're like, Jesus Christ, there she is. She's 40 now. With her fucking one eyeball. Her fucking David Bowie eyeball. Where have you been? You wee scamp. I don't know, just in this fucking chest of drawers this whole time. Jesus Christ. Maybe it's just a fancy way. I mean, just the admin. Like, they were talking about all these, all these elite pedo rings, or they fucking grow children in a underground bunker and harvest them for fucking adrenochrome, where they torture them and get the blood out of the. You're like, the fucking admin of that. Surely, if a kid is living in a fucking bunker its whole life, it's just gonna grow up like a fucking drone. You know what I mean? It doesn't know how to interact. It doesn't know how to feel properly. It's just like, I'm just a robot. You're not gonna torture it, and it's gonna be scared. It's gonna feel pain, but like, surely to get the real good stuff, you gotta kidnap a real a real child instead of growing one in a fucking lab like the Matrix 2. Fuck that. All while at brunch, you know what I mean? This is where worlds collide. I'm sitting there, I've got chili oil drizzled on my fucking poached eggs, and that's not a euphemism, and I'm just reading this shit going, this is fucking chaos, bro. Adrenochrome. Oh, do you know what I mean? If you're looking adrenaline, bro, get into mountain biking. Stop cutting the faces off children and fucking get a pair of rollerblades. And that, because, you're Hillary Clinton, you're getting on a bit. She was passing out all over the place. She's probably because she was like, I haven't had my adrenochrome in a while. She's walking around with a handbag full of chilies, just eating them raw. That was a story as well. Yeah, at your age, with your hips, get a set of rollerblades and go down a hill. Tell me you're not full of fucking adrenaline then. The thought that you might fucking keel over, break both your hips, and not be able to grind on the face of a fucking some fella in his key stage 3s. I don't know. Place has gone mad. What I'm saying is, have more brunch at the end of the day. Kanye West has stopped. He's there's a fucking alarm going off downstairs. I don't know what that is. It goes off every hour or something. Kanye West isn't running for president anymore. Surprise, surprise. And I shared that post on stories, and I said, "Oh, the pills wore off," because that, it feels like almost like coke behavior to be like, I'm running for president, and then you wake up the next morning, you go, fuck me, man. What was I drinking? Oh fuck, I'm a fucking dose when I'm drunk. I'm the fuck's sake, sir. Hit that backside again. Fuck's sake. But yeah, Kanye West is good at the old false flag in his life. And, you know, I might do it. You do it to get attention. He's like, I'm running for president. And they're like, are you? And he goes, check out this track. And everyone goes, bro. In fact, he did a disservice to that tune because that tune is fucking Litzville. But no one really paid attention to it because he's such a psycho. Everyone just went, bro, what the fuck? This guy's fucking out of his mind. I'm not listening to that. But you're like, definitely do listen to the music. The music's banging. You know, obviously the president bit of it is taking the piss a wee bit. But I'm going to start doing that in my life, you know what I mean? Just false flagging my life. Just fucking, you know, you're trying to get, you know, you're doing comedy in a room and you're losing the crowd a wee bit and you just fucking N-word, just scream it out. And everyone goes quiet and you go, now that I've got your attention, I'm just joking. You know, you do. That's what Kanye's doing with his whole life. You know, you could do it in a relationship. You know, say you're like, oh, I'm going to buy this car or something. And your partner's like, no, we can't afford it. You walk in, you go, guess what? I'm fucking divorcing you. I've been cheating on you. And they go, what did you say? And you go, I'm only messing. I just bought a car. And they go, oh, you fucking bastard. That's Kanye West in it. Just overshooting completely. I'm going to be president. And then Elon Musk's right behind him. You go, oh, you've got my full support. Whatever that means. But then, who knows? He's in the fucking elite pedo ring too. He put a tweet out, follow the White Rabbit. The code name for that adrenochrome stuff, White Rabbit. You gotta watch something, you know what I mean? You flick through fucking Netflix long enough, you get to the end, you click right to the end. Netflix is shit, by the way. They have nothing good on it. Also, have the basics there. You know, I was talking to Maureen the other day and I was like, have you seen Forrest Gump? She said no. And I went, great, we'll watch it. And you look it up and it's not there. Have the classics, Netflix. Have a Forrest Gump, you know? Have have the stuff that you're like, yeah, I can rewatch that. Instead, they're like, guess what we have on here now? Fucking Little Britain. Actually, you're not allowed that because they're racist, apparently. Which I disagree with, because what you could argue is they were playing a lot of different characters. You know, played a Thai woman, played a black woman, played whatever. Played a guy in a wheelchair, which might be the worst one, really, when you think about it, because it was a person who was like pretending to be disabled and then would get up and run about. And there's a lot of people in a wheelchair probably going, what's so funny about that? You fucking dicks. You could argue what they were doing was trying to diversify the show by playing a lot of different characters. You know, imagine you had a show where Matt Lucas, the wee baldy egg fucker, just played all white characters. You'd be like, there's not a lot of fucking representation in this show. Not everyone's a fat, baldy, fucking alopecia cunt. And then he'd be going, Jesus Christ, man, can I not win round here? But he took the risk and he was like, oh, hello, I'm Thailand. And all this here shit. I'll tell you what was funny, when they did the two characters, the two Japanese girls, like obsessed with Martin Clunes, I nearly pissed myself. Because that's so Japanese to be like, oh, we picked one guy who's kind of famous in the UK and we're obsessed with him. And they were like, Martin Clunes. Martin Clunes. Which is very funny. Just picking a random fucking guy. That made me laugh a lot, but I don't know. The place is fucked anyway. I'm glad we're from Northern Ireland, because we miss a lot of shit. We get a lot of shit way too late, you know? Parts of the country still waiting on broadband, for God's sake. But yeah, that's what happens. Everyone, you see it on TV and everyone's fucking woke and shooting each other, and, you know, Black Lives Matter and, you know, trans movements and fucking all that shit. And then you're just sitting in your local pub going, that's fucking wild, isn't it? I can't wait to see a black person someday. It's very mild here. It's very mild, and you can get brunch whenever you want, which is the most important thing. But I think we'll wrap it up. We'll do a short podcast today. just checking in on you bastards. Which I'm pretty sure is a Bill Burr line, but just seeing what the crack is. We're going to do something very cool at the weekend. We'll have a Q&A out on Sunday. We'll have more cool content for you next week. So, cheers for listening. As always, tickets for the SSE show are still on sale. I haven't really pushed them again. Obviously, if you're on Patreon, you're listening to this now. Tell your mates. Review it. I keep saying, people always say rate and review. You can't really fucking rate and review on Spotify. I don't think you can. And 97% of my listeners are on Spotify, so fuck me. Like, just fucking straight up walk into your friends and family and be like, you better fucking listen to this, you dicks. And that's promo. So that's it, guys. ColinGuest.com for merch, all that shit. We're getting new merch coming in. It's very swag. Even though my merch guy came off a fucking mountain bike and broke all his ribs on his collarbone and punctured his lung. And then sent me a picture from in hospital going, hey bro, can you send me that logo? I've got fluid pissing out of my lung into this bag. And I was like, bro, you don't even know when to stop. Hardcore. But yeah, the new merch will be on the way, available at ColinGuest.com. That's it. We're going to record the Q&A now. Cheers for listening, and we'll see you next week. Big kisses, bye.